Welcome to the Joosik Energetic Fantasy Football Show, Season 1, Episode 19. That's right, Episode 19. Shout out to Tony Gwynn. Rest in peace, Tony Gwynn. It's the San Diego Tony Gwynn episode. All right, anyway. So, this is the first week of the fantasy football playoffs. And this is week 14. In this episode, I'm going to give you my list of must-start super fantasy football players and my list of my super secret waiver wire fantasy football players. Every player that I name will help you win your week 14 fantasy football game. And if you have a bye week because you are the best player in your league, you will want to pay close attention to what I have to say, because I'm releasing information that will be vital to your victory and advancement to the second round of the fantasy football playoffs. So let's get started right now with my must-start super fantasy football players. Let's start the engine right now and kick the engine up to 60 miles an hour in 3 seconds, as soon as possible. First, we start with the quarterbacks. All right, my first quarterback of my super fantasy football stars that are must start. If you own these players, you must start them or you might lose your fantasy football playoff game. First player, Ben Roethlisberger, 26 touchdowns, 3,945 yards. Patrick Mahomes, 41 touchdowns, 3,923 yards. Jared Goff, 27 TDs, 3,754 yards. Phillip Rivers, 28 TDs, 3,418 yards. And I still ain't no LA Charger. It's all about San Diego, baby. Don't leave the town and expect me to still follow you around. Anyway, Tom Brady, 20 TDs, 3,342 yards. Drew Brees, 30 TDs, 3,262 yards. Now let's go to my must-start super fantasy football stars, the running backs. Todd Gurley, 15 TDs, 1,175 yards. Alvin Kamara, 11 TDs, 742 yards. Derrick Henry, 9 TDs, 712 yards. And you all saw that game where he got over 256 yards with 4 TDs to end up with the best fantasy football game in the season so far. Outpacing Alvin Kamara with about 40 points. Outpacing Christian McCaffrey with about 43 points. And guess what? I own both Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey. That's right. Why am I in the playoffs? Because I'm smart. And I pay attention to this stuff. And I've been playing fantasy football for over 12 years. Anyway, let's get to the wide receivers. Oh, no. Let's get back to the running backs. I got a few more to tell you. How about Saquon Barkley, 8 TDs, 954 yards. Phillip Lindsay, 8 TDs, 937 yards. Christian McCaffrey, 5 TDs, 863 yards. Alvin Kamara, 11 TDs, 742 yards. I own 2 of those players like I just told you. I own Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey. Once again, let me rehash that for you. Why am I in the playoffs? Because I drafted good running backs first. All right? Now, let's go to my wide receivers. Antonio Brown, 12 TDs, 1,028 yards. Tyreek Hill, 11 TDs, 1,115 yards. Adam Thielen, 9 TDs, 1,166 yards. Michael Thomas, 8 TDs, 1,120 yards. DeAndre Hopkins, 8 TDs, 1,115 yards. Now, for the tight ends of my must-start super fantasy football stars. I happen to own this guy right here. Eric Ebron, 11 TDs, 589 yards. He is the best tight end in the NFL this season. I don't care what anybody else in the fantasy football community says. You heard it here first from Joosik Energetik for the Joosik Energetik Fantasy Football Show, Season 1, Episode 19. Now, Travis Kelce, 9 TDs, 1,082 yards. Zach Ertz, 6 TDs, 978 yards. Jared Cook, 6 TDs, 704 yards. Trey Burton, 5 TDs, 448 yards. All right? Now, let's go to my super secret waiver wire players. Pick these players up off the waiver wire. They are available for everybody to get if you have lost players like Kareem Hunt or James Conner. You know, there's some players out there that are not playing right now. And that helped you get there, but they can't help you because they're not playing right now because of certain reasons. And you know why. I ain't getting into it. So anyway, my super secret waiver wire players: Derek Carr, Eli Manning, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Case Keenum, and Ryan Fitzpatrick in case they sit Jameson Winston on the bench. Joe Flacco, who's hurt. So now guess who you're going to use? Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen. Now for the running backs: Mike Davis, Javorius Allen, Theo Riddick, Frank Gore, Corey Clement, Giovanni Bernard. For the tight ends: Jimmy Graham, C.J. Herndon, C.J. Uzomah, Mark Andrews, Vernon Davis, Ricky Seals-Jones. And for the wide receivers of my super secret waiver wire players that will help you win your fantasy football game and advance you to round 2. How about Dante Moncrief for the wide receivers, Jordy Nelson, Antonio Callaway, David Moore, and Chester Rogers. These are all super secret waiver wire players. Now, I'm going to let you know if I won my Week 13 fantasy football game and if I made it to the fantasy football playoffs. How about a drum roll? Yes, I won my Week 13 fantasy football game, and I made it to the fantasy football playoffs, baby. And this is Joosik Energetik for the Joosik Energetik Fantasy Football Show, Season 1, Episode 19. Now, let's go to a video of me explaining my Week 13 fantasy football victory, which got me into the fantasy football playoffs. Okay? So let's go to that video right about now. This is Joosik Energetik for the Joosik Energetik Fantasy Football Show, Season 1, Episode 19. And this is my victory explanation video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my victory explanation video and how I won my Week 13 fantasy football game to take me right on into the fantasy football playoffs. There's my name right there, Joosik Energetik. As I click on it, I'm going to click on my previous game for Week 13. As you see, my record is 9-4. I had a win streak of 5 games. I'm tied for second in the West. My Week 13 game was against Team 1, Anthony Archie. Anthony Archie, out there in Atlanta, got defeated by Joosik Energetik for the Joosik Energetik Fantasy Football Show. Welcome to the show. This is the Atlanta 12-team PPR 1906978 league that I'm in. And I'm in the playoffs now. But I got in the playoffs through this victory right here. This is how I got in. It was a tough Week 13 game. Drew Brees got me 7.3 points. It's the lowest he's ever got me all season long. Alvin Kamara got me 15.2 points. Very, very floor type score from Alvin Kamara. Christian McCaffrey been shining for me all year long. Hasn't had one bad game yet. I think his lowest game was like 15 points. Okay, so he's had one. But anyway, Cole Beasley got me 2.9 points. Cole Beasley will probably not be in my lineup on week 14. Josh Reynolds got me 3.9 points. Josh Reynolds will probably be sitting the bench in week 14. Eric Ebron got me 15.2 points. Eric Ebron been shining for me all year long. He's only had me one bad game. He's only got me one bad game with Christian McCaffrey. Same type. But Eric Ebron been shining. One bad game. They only got me one bad game. Mark Ingram, 4.8 points. I need better from Mark Ingram. Still can't sit him on the bench. Heisman winner. Redskins D got me -2 points. I'm going to be looking for probably a different defense in week 14 because I can't have that. I'm trying to advance to round 2. Now, my record wasn't good enough for me to get a bye, so I'm trying to advance to round 2 and just push on through the fantasy football playoffs. All right? So, that total gave me 86.4 points compared to Anthony Archie, 60.7 points. His best player of the day was Golden Tate. Golden Tate been shining over there in Philly ever since he left Detroit. He's got 23.5 points, but it still wasn't enough for him to win our game. So let me show the bench players. The bench players. My biggest bench player was Ben Roethlisberger, 17.2 points. And his biggest point gainer was Kenny Stills, 13.7 points. Anyway, let's go check the standings and see where I'm at in the standings. Let's show y'all proof that I'm in the fantasy football playoffs. Here I am in the West, tied for second with Team Shan. And Gurley Man is winning in our division. He has 10-3. I have 9-4, tied with Team Shan. Shot Callers is winning in the East. All right. So, I need to see this playoff bracket. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, I'm trying to win this fantasy football league here and show the world that on my show, I could be a champion and win a fantasy football league. Anyway, so there you see it. The regular season final standings. Tied for second in the East. In the West. All right. So, there you have it. So, here's the schedule. And let's see, I'm going to be playing Gurley Man, I believe. He tried to trade me for Christian McCaffrey like twice. I was like, nah, I'm not having that. You know what I'm saying? Christian McCaffrey has been amazing for me. I don't trade players like that. So, all right. So there you have it. My Week 13 fantasy football victory, which got me into the fantasy football playoffs. Look for me to come at y'all with another video in Week 15 or Week 14. Actually, Week 14 to let you know if I won. Because it's win or go home now. There ain't no win and come back next week. I have to win to advance to round 2. If I don't, that's it. So I'm not even going to preview y'all what I'm doing in Week 14 yet. I'm going to just let you know that this is Joosik Energetik for the Joosik Energetic Fantasy Football Show, Season 1, Episode 19, and I'm out. Peace. Thank you for watching my Week 13 victory explanation video. Oh, it feels good to be a winner. Yes, raise my arms like that. It feels good to be in the fantasy football playoffs. All right? A lot of study, a lot of podcasts, lots of information. I'm listening to information at least 4 hours out of a 24-hour day every day. Not just my own information, but other people's information. And then when I get that information, I use it to set my lineup. It just feels so good to make it to the playoffs. I'm trying to win this league. I'm trying to win this league called Atlanta 12 Team PPR. I'm trying to show these guys and girls from Atlanta that a young hustler, rapper, music producer, sound engineer named Joosik Energetik can win a fantasy football championship and prove to the world that just because I'm a rapper, producer, sound engineer, don't mean I can't play fantasy football. So, I just want to say thank you for watching the Joosik Energetic Fantasy Football Show, Season 1, Episode 19. As you travel with me to the fantasy football playoffs, I hope you get a chance to see me win a championship. All right? So, once again, thank you for watching the Joosik Energetic Fantasy Football Show, Season 1, Episode 19. And I'm out. Peace.